So to those that are staying at home all the time, I got a message for you. Okay, the world that we live in nowadays, it's making it easier for people to be isolated. I remember I used to watch this YouTuber. He was a really rich guy, and one of the things he bragged about was that he was so rich that he didn't need to get out of his house. He was so rich that he ordered his food, he paid someone to order his clothes, everything was paid for. And he talked about it like he was bragging, but then I realized that is the worst existence you can ever have. That is the worst existence, and this is why. Isolation tends to create an illusion of safety, an illusion of comfort, right? And we've all done that when we feel our worst. But the problem is that isolation actually exposes you to more danger than it does fix. It makes you an easy target. Why? People who are isolated are those who are prone to become cult members, are those who are prone to follow fads that eventually will corrode them from within, are those who literally join cult isolation. Those people who are isolated are those who join gangs, or those who develop belief system that is devoid from reality to the point that it can become dangerous for people. Isolation is who that Elliot Scott, I think that guy that shot people in Sure, that guy, he was isolated. Every person who commits mass, right? Those people were isolated, completely isolated. So isolation has this illusion, but the problem is this: there are moments when you need to be isolated. There are moments. Let me tell you one. One, isolation helps to retreat, right? You recover. You isolate yourself from society to gain a new perspective. For example, I go to meditation retreats, right? I go to 10-day meditation retreats, 5 days, 3 days. In those moments, I choose to isolate myself. I'll isolate myself when it comes to creating art. I'll isolate myself to reassess myself. In fact, isolation is good. For example, Malcolm X, through isolation and becoming a prisoner, he developed a new, he not developed, he became Muslim, developed a set of value system that he held on for the rest of his short life, right? Isolation is used to fix your problems, right? But the problem is that a lot of people use isolation as an instinct, as a knee-jerk reaction to feeling threatened, to danger. Rather than exposing themselves to danger, they run away from it and they feel the illusion of safety. And this is the problem. Isolation offers no protection, zero protection. In fact, you just expose yourself to more danger. It's like when you put a bunch of people into a fortress, right? You build a castle, you build a fortress. And in that fortress, nothing can enter. They're impregnable. But then again, this is the problem. Since everyone knows where you are, now you're an easy target. And then above all, because you guys are isolated, very easy for disease to spread. Before humans became domesticated by farming and living in houses, we were hunter-gatherers. So we moved around a lot. And because of that, there was more distance between tribes and more distance between me and you. But as soon as we became domesticated, we were hanging around people. We created towns. But then that's when plague started. That's when diseases started. You might think that isolation tends to remove diseases. It actually promotes it because you guys are around each other. There's no space, right? But then not only physical diseases happen, mental diseases, where you start to think, and this is how cults start. This is how you have fringe movements. People who are isolated will literally divorce themselves from reality. In fact, this is the danger of going to meditation retreats, is that the meditation retreats tend to create an isolation. This is a problem, is that when you get out of those retreats, just like people who are isolated for too long, who don't have friends, who don't work on having friends, you tend to be awkward around people, right? That's what tends to happen. Like little, and above all, people can sense the awkwardness because when you isolate yourself long enough, you're awkward. You're like fucking Tarzan. Oh, girl. Like you develop Tarzan syndrome, right? Right? So the danger is when you feel threatened, you isolate yourself. When you feel the need to isolate yourself, unfortunately, you have to look inside of yourself, muster up the courage, and go in the complete opposite direction. Let me give you an example, right? I live in Mexico City, right? And I was a little isolated for a while, okay? And it was a product of the pandemic also, right? But a product because I was in a new place and it was awkward making friends. But then I realized I need to get out of that. And I said to myself, what do I like to do? I like to draw and meditate. So then I went around posting signs that says meditate with us or draw with us. I started posting ads, right? And people started going to the group. But then when it was time to attend the group, to have the meeting, I felt scared. I felt resistance. I wanted to cancel those meetings. But one of the things I learned is that when you're used to being isolated, you're gonna face a lot of physical, mental, and emotional resistance to get out of that spot. You're gonna face resistance. It's like a baby not trying to come out the womb. You're gonna fucking cry when that doctor pulls you out, right? You're gonna cry. So every time I did those events, I felt scared, man. I didn't want to do it. I wanted to cancel it, and I said to myself, man, I don't want to do this shit, man. But you know what? I did it. I would feel the desire to cancel it. I wouldn't cancel it. I would go. And now I have a group of people where we have drawing events in my apartment. I have meditation events at a park. And everyone is like getting to know each other. And above all, the goal of those meditation and drawing groups is to do what? To bring people together. Because I know there's a need. People feel lonely, but they're just so afraid to get out of that loneliness, right? And so that's what I did. And now me doing events, I don't feel scared. I still feel kind of scared when I do the drawing events, right? Sometimes, like the figure drawing, but all the other ones, I don't feel scared no more. And that fear that I have of the drawing events will go away after like 2 or 3 more times. It'll go away. But that's what you got to do. And like, even as a guy, a lot of guys want to get women. A lot of guys want to be that dude, but a lot of guys just don't want to do this. I tell guys, women like leaders. You could be the ugliest motherfucker in the world, but if you know where you're going, some women are going to bang you. Because you're a leader, right? And that's what tends to happen. And these groups, for me at least, it's more of a social thing, right? I'm getting around people, touching grass, seeing people. And what people have to understand is that, for example, there's a lot of drawing groups that are online. I don't want to do that. And everyone wants me to do it online. I'm like, no, it has to be in person. I am not all of the, like, you have to overcome this resistance. And people say, how do I make friends? You know what's funny? It's not about making friends. And by the way, if you guys want to learn how to do what I do, like in terms of socializing, making friends this way, book a call with me. Book a one-on-one call with me. And in that one-on-one call, I will literally give you the strategies that I use to build up a social circle and become more social. And and put yourself in a position where people come to you, where you're the one in the position of leadership. So if you ever want to do this and need someone to guide you, literally, I did it myself. So if you want to do that, click on the description down below where it says work with me one-on-one. There I have 5-minute sessions, 15-minute sessions, 30-minute sessions, 1-hour sessions, 45-minute sessions. And there you'll be able to book a call with me tomorrow, today, people. Okay? So click on the description down below or else you're going to be lonely forever. I'm kidding. Right? So yeah, I made those groups and now it just feel like, honestly, when I do these events, I just feel like I'm at least touching grass. And this is the thing, is that when you don't do this, when you keep being, it has a momentum. If you're alone a lot, you're gonna want to be more alone, but also that you're gonna be alone and also feel the desire to escape, but the anxiety and the fear is so great that you can't get out of that spiral, that spinning spiral. It takes a lot of effort, and this is what happens. When you first try to get out of your comfort zone, it's gonna hurt. I'm not telling you to start your own groups. Just go somewhere. Be around people. Find social groups. When I mean social groups, drawing groups, salsa classes, meditation classes, MMA classes. Those are all social things. And just be around people because you are a human. Humans that are isolated develop very weird habits. They're just awkward as fuck. You become normal in terms of like giving people normal, cool, chilled out vibes by interacting with people face to face. It's not just being able to see someone online. It's not the same. If you notice, the brain is not as stimulated when you talk to people online versus in person. A lot of people watch videos of eye contact to make better eye contact, right? And they watch it and they're like, oh wow, I'm making eye contact, right? It's like you making eye contact with me. That shit don't count. But then when you go in real life, you sense that there's something more to it than just eye contact. You sense there's like a living and breathing dynamic, a breathing energy that is literally between you and that person. And you can sense that because you feel a presence that makes you anxious. You got to get used to that. That is the living, breathing social dynamic that humans all have. And if you are isolated, you never feel that. As soon as you put two people next to each other, that dynamic is felt. Jesus said, if there's 2 or 3 people in my name, I will be there. This spirit that animates people, that social force that animates people to commit crimes when they're in a group, that social force that allows people to focus more because they're in a group, that social force that leads people to have chaos, is that living, breathing entity that is all in us. And you have to get in touch with that. And the only way you do that is through being in real life around people, not through visualizing it, not through talking to your therapist online, none of that. In real life, physically. And this is how you become a socialized person, being around people. A person who is not around people will be awkward. But keep that person around people, and slowly they'll develop the faculties to be normal around people. So you gotta force yourself to be around people, man. All these guys want to be able to get women, for example, and they want to reap the benefit of being around women and getting women to like them, but they don't want to do this. This is why women get attracted to men who are social and are leaders, because they know they had to go mentally. That guy had to deal with anxiety. That guy, when he made that group, that guy knew that there was a risk that no one was gonna be there, and that people were gonna say, "Ha ha, look at this loser having events all by himself," right? And that person literally had those thoughts in their mind, literally had that anxiety that you have in your heart right now. You don't want to go out, and that person literally punched through that feeling and said, "Fuck you." The pain of being alone is a lot stronger than this little anxiety of no one coming. And women don't say, "Oh my God, I'm attracted because of that." They just sense the confidence emanating from you because you overcame frustration. You overcame all of those fears, right? And this applies to everyone. It's not just men. But we tend to see this in men more because men are less social than women. Okay? When you feel the need to isolate yourself, do the opposite. Make that your calling call. As soon as you feel the need to isolate yourself, do the opposite. Reach out to people. Expose yourself to danger, quote unquote. Be around people. That anxiety, that meetup that you kind of don't want to go because you're afraid, allow yourself to be awkward. I remember when in the pandemic, I just wasn't making friends. And I literally went to Facebook and say, "Hey, anybody want to be my friend?" Like a dude, like a fucking 28, like, you know, like, it's crazy. And one guy, "Hey, let's hang out." And I feel anxious. I'm like, it feels like a date, but I can't bang him, right? And I went, I felt so scared until I sat down and I felt confident. And then we were friends. We were literally friends, man. After that, good friends. But we just don't want to pay the price of anxiety. People. On the other side of anxiety, there's riches, there's greatness, there's confidence that you never imagined is there. You just have to look through the illusion. This is like the it clown. It's an illusion. If you react to that fear by not doing nothing, it'll eat you up alive. Like it ate that little dumbass kid in the movie. I mean, look, goddamn little kid. If you see a freaking clown in the sewer, why the fuck are you going up to that clown, you dumbass? No, I'm not even going there. Force yourself to be around different circles. Me, I'm in Mexico. I am not going to be making friends with no gringos. I am making friends with Mexicans. I am making friends with Mexicans. I am trying to hang around them and trying to be part of their culture. Force yourself in different circles. Don't just be around the people of your political beliefs. Force yourself in different circles. Because the more you isolate yourself, the more awkward you are. The more you contact others, the easier it is in person. If not, you become awkward with your nonverbal cues, and women get creeped the fuck out when you have creepy, awkward signs, right? Remember, the more alone you are, the less power you have. For example, people who are seeking jobs. You see a lot of people who are seeking jobs, and because they look for jobs, they stay home all day. Rather than doing that, as you're seeking jobs, volunteer, be around people, touch grass. Be around people. Look at people in the eye. Sense their presence. Have your brain react to their neurons. Sense it. Feel their energy. React to their pheromones. Everything. Like, allow yourself to get acclimated to your humanity. You cannot be a person of respect if you just isolate yourself the whole time. You die quicker. It's just not healthy for you. The more you are alone, the less power you have. Gotta touch grass, people. And for example, I have a drawing group right now, and I have a contest, right? A drawing contest. And I told them, the winner wins, but the only way for you to participate is that if you're in person and the drawing is physical. You gotta be here to win. There's no online application. I'm not here to make money. I'm here to bring all you awkward ass artists in one place so that you guys can sense each other's presence. And why can't you just do it online? No, but find another contest. How about that? Because I understand the importance of socializing. You are a social animal. You're not a fucking lion. You're not a Neanderthal. You are physically weak. You need the help of others. And if you're not, you're gonna look weird, all right? Just look at Tarzan. Like, Tarzan didn't have no Riz. He had fucking chimp Riz. I say this with love. I had a point in my life when I was really isolated. I was smoking weed all day. And I just lost myself. I'm not even gonna lie. I really lost myself at one point. Being around people really was hard. I couldn't make eye contact. It was really bad. I remember that. It's crazy. And I remember I was taking Adderall at that time. I was going to school. I was working as a counselor from 12 to 8 p.m. I was on Adderall, and then I would go home smoke. And that routine, I did that for years, man. And I got used to it. I went back home to live with my mom, and I did that. And I was like, man, I was a loser. You think women pay attention to your loser ass when you're just isolated? No. A woman wants to see you around people. That's how they know that you have some value, when they see you around people. You know, and for women, it's almost the same thing, you know? Like you want a woman who knows how to socialize, who has some social energy, you know? Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to work with me one-on-one, go to mindfulattraction.org, and I'll see you guys later. To the Mindful Attraction University, taught by Professor Alex, where I teach you all of the strategies to improve your dating life and all of the courses that I have all in one place. And you can get it at a highly discounted rate. So that means you can purchase all of my basic courses without the bundles, usually at $600. You can purchase it now at $399, people. Not $400. $399 for psychological purposes. Yeah, that's right. Oh my fucking god, he's showing us a scam. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Father Alex does that. So that means you could get emotional mastery, the psychological game of attraction, the feminine woman, natural chemistry, charisma blueprint, and nice girl at a discounted rate. But then, if you want to get the master's degree of the Mindful Attraction University, taught by Professor Alex, you could get the premium version, where usually all of the courses cost $1,200. Now you can purchase them all at $799 or 4 payments of $200. You guys can now also do like a payment plan. Feminine woman, emotional mastery, the whole shebang with all of the bonuses at one lower price, people. And with that, honestly, this is the type of thing that I know that if you guys get, it'll fix your dating life in ways you guys cannot imagine. Now, my worry is that it is a lot of content. Like, it is, and I'm not a fan of giving people a lot of content because I don't want informational junkies. But this is the best way to get it all in one price. Now, look, mind you, if you purchase the bundle, I'm just gonna be honest, there's no refunds. Purchasing the whole bundles. If you guys think you guys are not gonna like it, I will prefer if you guys buy one course to see if you like it. And if you don't like that course, you could get your money back and don't purchase the bundle. Right? But if you like that course, you guys can send me an email and say, hey, can I upgrade to the bundle? Pay the difference, and there you guys will get it. But it's just that, look, man, you guys know my content. If you like one course, you like it all, right? So that's the only caveat. But I know damn well, if you purchase it, your dating life will never be the same. Okay? Now, for those who purchase the courses but want to add to the bundle, you guys can message me and maybe we could come up with a price so that you guys can get it while being able to not have to pay all the crazy prices. Okay, so just click on the description down below. There you'll see the ability to purchase the Wi-Fi basic package, which is the one that you see here for $399 without the bundles and without the bonuses. But if you guys want to purchase it with the bonuses, which is a lot of content, and I'm afraid because it's a lot of content, you guys can purchase it right here with either 4 payments of $200 or one-time payment of $7.99, right? And yeah, this is, and by the way, I made this design, you know, Father Addicts is being inclusive here and stuff like that. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoy this. Hopefully you guys can support the channel by purchasing those courses, and I'll see you guys inside. Bye-bye.